What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of What You Need to Know. My name is Brian D. Exclusive, and today we're going to be talking about how Trump's recent post has sparked another national conversation about the threats of Islam and the realities that follow with these policies. Now, I'll pull the post right here on the screen so that way you can see it. But you can see he says, Ilhan Omar's country of Somalia is plagued by lack of central government control, persistent poverty, hunger, resurgent terrorism, piracy, decades of civil war, corruption, and pervasive violence. 70% of the population lives in extreme poverty. Now, why would he post this? Is he just being hateful? Is he trying to start another debate amongst people? Or is he trying to make you aware of the realities of these policies? The more that we allow third world ideas to infiltrate our country, the more our country will look like these third world countries. It's very simple. The left likes to use false realities to try to make you think like, oh, well, maybe that's not the case, but it's literally as simple as it could be. If you walk like a duck and quack like a duck, then you're a duck. If you have bad ideas that destroy the economy and destroy human rights and you bring them over here, the same thing will happen. It's that simple. Well, here's a clip of a Middle Eastern woman covering how there was a terrorist summit on American soil with literal people that are actual terrorists talking and preaching this Islamic takeover on our soil. Literally on American soil. Check this out.
On American soil, terrorists took the stage and trashed the country hosting them.
The thing to do is to destroy the idea of America in Americans' heads.
It's called the People's Conference for Palestine, which thousands of people attended. And what they were cheering for should terrify you. This isn't a peace conference. It's a gathering of radical activists, terrorist-linked organizations, and people glorifying violence under the banner of liberation. They invited actual terrorists, like Hussein Shahim, a convicted terrorist who built a cell in Jerusalem and was sentenced to 27 years for attempted murder. He was recently released in a hostage deal and was still invited to come speak. Here's what's actually being said at this conference.
We all know who they are, whether they are in Israel, in Washington, in Europe. They need to be taken out. They need to be neutralized. Now it's time to escalate.
They preach martyrdom.
Salute to our martyrs, those who are killed but never die.
They incite hatred towards America.
We live in an evil country. That's just what's happened.
They push rhetoric going against the West, socially, ideologically, and politically, to cheer for sentences like this.
Liberation, never peace. That's the white man's word, peace. Liberation is our word.
Does that sound like they want peace? They're romanticizing war, and they're turning this into a cult-like experience where people are continuing to be radicalized. And then, we see applause erupting when somebody says something like this.
I can tell you I'm more Palestinian than I am American.
This isn't activism. This is a whole event made to radicalize a group of people under the guise of liberation for the oppressed.
Every sector of society must become a front for confronting Zionism.
And it's funded by organizations directly tied to terrorism. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition was literally led by a Hamas operative, the AMP is under investigation for terror ties, and Code Pink has a long record of working with terrorists and oppressive regimes like Iran. We're living in a world where right and wrong are being blurred on purpose.
We need to retake the universities. We need to neutralize and silence these corporate media.
Where saying peace gets booed, but calling for jihad gets applause. Where blatant hate is being branded as activism and nobody calls it out.
Find that anger within your heart.
Where the people in this conference are using the right of free speech given to them by America to incite violence in America.
We wanted to globalize the Intifada.
This is not liberation. This is dangerous and it needs to be stopped.
The common expression is, Islamists are peaceful until they are the majority. The reason that we're starting to see more and more widespread, outspoken, terroristic ideology in Western society, not just America, but Europe, Australia, pretty much everywhere around the world, the reason is because their population is growing. They're outbreeding us, they're importing into our nations, and we're being told that we're racist if we notice it. And the more that this happens, the more we're going to continuously see these radicals pushing radical agendas. Here's another one.
policies? How can the politics in Somalia can be, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have? How can you help us, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia.
So you get elected mayor in Maine, like one of the whitest states ever, and it's how can we help Somalia?
And that's exactly it. How can we help Somalia? Well, the more that we're focused on the third world, the more we will be the third world. The more we take U.S. capital out of the U.S., the weaker the U.S. will be. It's very simple. You don't have to understand how the economy works to understand that if you have less of something, then you have less of something. It's really as simple as it gets. And also, on that counterpoint, if we have more Muslims, we will have more Muslims. And we have more policies and more counties that are enforcing Sharia-like ideas, then the more Sharia law is going to be in America. I mean, it's all very simple. This shouldn't be rocket science. Here's another video. It blows my mind how bold these people are. Nobody cares. And there's definitely a number of channels like mine that are calling this out. But the fact that it's not mainstream, even with all the conversation about Israel, Iran, should we be against or for Hamas, nobody actually understands how deep this threat goes. The only people that seem to really notice are over in the UK because it's almost too late for them. Please don't let it get to that point here. Look at this.
Okay, Mega, it's time that you learn Sharia law. Now that we Muslims are slowly taking over your country, starting with New York soon, inshallah. And then not only are we taking over your country, we're bringing in communism. So you better get used to the idea of giving up your money and share it with the poor. And just a few things you gotta know about Sharia law. No more pork, so that shit has to go. Then you're gonna have to pay some sort of tax for being non-Muslim, of course. And so it's time to learn some Arabic, and time to put your wives in burqas, because that's going to be next. So so welcome to the Islamic State of America.
I mean, I've seen people try to say that these videos are just jokes. I see people all the time trying to say when I expose a video coming out of one of these Islamic countries, every single time that I do, I get comments, countless comments saying, oh, well, this was actually just a staged reenactment of an event that actually took place at some point, but this isn't really happening now. And at first I was like, maybe I'm just being tricked. But literally every single time I post a video, especially on Facebook, if I post a short from these long form contents about anything taking place, they're like, oh, this is a reenactment. Oh, well, that person doesn't actually, what? Look, I'm not going to sit here and let you try to gaslight me into believing that I can't see reality. It's not going to happen. If you don't want me to believe this, then you better get rid of that book. That Quran is evil, and it says all of the things that you guys do. I showed the videos of, it's not us. Oh, that's not real. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. People are like, oh, that guy, he's just a comedian. He's actually not, No, I'm not letting you do it. You're not going to gaslight us. Here's another video of Islam saying how they will not respect a non-Islamic state.
Solution, if Muslim people are in the wrong and they are committing crimes, no one's above the law.
If the law of the land is Islamic, we will respect the law of the land.
What if it's not Islamic?
If it's not Islamic, then the law of the land and those who make it can go to hell, quite honestly, because Allah said in the Quran, in chapter 33, verse 1, He said, O Prophet, fear Allah and do not obey the disbelievers and the hypocrites. Is David Cameron a Muslim or a disbeliever? Guys,
I can't speak on Cameron,
so you can't obey him. So he can go to hell, as well as all of the other leaders.
Do you think I should go to hell?
Let me tell you something.
I'm a non-Muslim.
You're on your way to the hellfire because you're a non-Muslim. All non-Muslims are destined for the hellfire.
Do you really believe that?
Yes, and you will be fueled for the hellfire as well. But the fact is that you have an opportunity to change.
That hurts me to think that you think that of me, because you don't really know me, and you think I'm destined to hell because I'm non-Muslim.
You said you're not a Muslim, so that's enough for me to know that you're not Muslim.
So
if you're not Muslim, you're destined for the hellfire unless you change.
I mean, it is a radical cult, like the most radical cult. And that's the reason in Texas they banned Sharia law. Why would they do that if it wasn't a threat? How come only Greg Abbott is able to speak up about this? How come you won't do it, Whitmer? How come you won't do it, Newsom? Why? Do you want us to be Minnesota? Is that what you're wanting? Do you want us to be the UK? Is that what you're wanting? Seriously. Check out this video of when Sharia law got banned from Texas.
The ban on Sharia law in Texas is now strengthened.
The ceremonial signing met with cheers in McKinney. Governor Abbott flanked by lawmakers who pushed through HB 4211 in response, they say, to Epic City, a Muslim-centric community planned on the edge of Collin County, accused of housing discrimination.
This law prevents them from creating no-go zones. It prevents them from selling or renting land only to people who follow Islam.
Collin County State Rep Candy Noble co-authored the bill, citing Epic City's own words.
They said, we will limit sales to only persons we believe will contribute to the overall makeup of our community.
All lies, argues Epic City's attorney.
To be resolved by Texas law and Texas courts, not Sharia law.
It shouldn't be that crazy to see our governors fighting against a cult. I mean, if Scientology started taking over like this, or if the Mormons started taking over like this, I would expect the same kind of a reaction. We're going to put policies in place that ensure that you are not able to take advantage of us or use your destructive ideology to mess up our society. That seems pretty simple. And do you know what? If that would have happened in the United Kingdom a little bit sooner, or at least at all, we wouldn't be witnessing all of these videos coming out of there and seeing all of these beautiful churches getting destroyed. We wouldn't be witnessing Canada lose their freedom and lose their identity and be called racist for talking about it. Here's a video of British patriots wreaking havoc on Islamists because they were trying to promote the Quran to kids in school. It's shocking that it's coming to this point, but I don't know. They're desperate. In the United Kingdom, they don't have any recourse. The government is literally against them. So I would like to know, what do you think is their best course of action to try to protest this without violence? Because I don't like violence. I don't want to see us go down this path of a third world country, which is what these Islamists want. They want to destabilize so they can use that to help take over. But what else can they do right now? Seriously. While you think about that, watch the video.
Yeah! Go on, you fucking...
I mean, what would you do if you were in the Netherlands and you watched somebody peeing on your pork in the middle of the supermarket because they think that it's bad? I'm serious. Oh, you don't think I'm serious? Check this out.
Oh, alleen omdat hij geen varken wilt eten? Wow. We don't eat pork. We don't eat pork.
We don't eat pork. We don't eat pork. Fucking idiots. And then we have these LGBs out here fighting for literally their death. They're protesting for this Islamic takeover and fighting for the freedom of Palestine. And the more that they do it, with the more information that has come out, it just proves how much they're also in a cult. Islam, the LGB, Scientology, we could go on and on and on and on. We need all of these cults to be wheeled back. This is just not okay. Check this out. They would literally murder every one of them if they had the chance. Like, what are they thinking? Here's a video out of Toronto showing how much the national identity of that city has changed. This, I mean, if you told me it was Toronto, or if I didn't know this was Toronto, I would never guess. You would have to tell me. Look at this. Here's a video out of Park Avenue, New York, which is also extremely shocking to witness. Every city around the world is starting to be invaded like this. We're seeing videos of countless churches being destroyed. I know, I keep on talking about the churches getting destroyed, but that's because if you understand how history has been molded and the destruction of the Library of Alexandria and so many important historical destructions, it starts with little buildings. It starts by normalizing it, just like all propaganda. It has to have a slow, incremental introduction to normalize it. And this is part of that process. Look at this guy, bold in front of everybody, tearing down a cross. In Canada, I have this video of the streets being totally blocked so that way they can pray. Now, I've showed a lot of videos in a variety of different states and countries where they've shut down traffic for, not just praying, but, vandalizing and destruction as well. But this is a huge red flag because every single time that I see a video like this, it seems like there's more and more people that are participating in the protest prayer, I guess, if that's what this is, or if it's just supposed to be normal Sharia BS. But look at this. Sweden has had such a hard time with this illegal invasion and the destruction of everything around them that they've also hit a boiling point in the last few days. And now we're seeing videos of Sweden getting destroyed. Look at this. So crazy. Here's a video out of Italy because I really think people don't understand how widespread this is. It's genuinely everywhere. Look at this. At some point, we're gonna have to go over the conversations of how they all got here. Now, clearly there was a mass importation in the last couple years under Biden and whatnot, but the entire globe has had a central intelligence agency of some sort helping move this. This is way too organized. In a lot of these places, they've had to change the noise ordinances so that way they're even allowed to do this insane, disgusting level of what they call prayer. And just to really end the video on a high note, I want to touch on my home state of Michigan and show how here in Michigan, it looks like we have officially fallen. And I know we haven't, but it looks like it. And the appearance is what gives them power. We need to stand up and unite against this common threat of the cult of Islam. So let's check this out.
أهل البيت أنعى وأندب مولاي كنت بكربلاء يا ليت بنفسي لبيت.
A lot of people really think that white people are just hateful, but the reason that they believe that is because they've been ideologically captured. Do not let anybody make you think that just because of your identity, you're not allowed to have an opinion. That is how the worst atrocities in society begin. Don't let somebody think that just because you are white, that you are willing to censor your speech. Don't let them think that they have power over you. They need to have power over the last little beacon of hope. Because if they can shut us down, they shut down the world. The American experiment will fail if they have their way about it. It's the most important thing right now as we go into the weekend that everybody starts to study some history and realize that this only happens because people don't know that it's already happened. This will be the 9th crusade. That means there's been 8 times in history that we have witnessed a holy war against Islam. I'm just saying. We talk a lot about Israel and Iran and how long they've been fighting. This will be the 9th crusade. Please take it seriously. Alright, that's it for today. If you enjoy my content, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at Brian D Exclusive. Go ahead and support the channel by You can support the channel by clicking on the Patreon link and subscribing, or you can just donate some money to my Cash App at Brian D Exclusive. Remember, it's Brian with a Y because you have to ask questions. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.